Over the years, there have been many bass companies that have popped up out of nowhere, and many of them have created some really great basses that don't get the exposure they deserve. So today, I'm showcasing 5 basses that are hidden gems from cheap to expensive. I want to give a huge thanks to Suno for sponsoring today's video, but more on them later. So we are starting with the cheapest bass and the highest bang for your buck bass I've ever found online, and that is this Harley Benton 4-string jazz bass, or they call it the MV4JB. When I tell you that this literally is the best bass I've ever played under $300, it is insane. This is a 4-string passive jazz bass that has incredible build quality. For this price point is absolutely insane. It's got an alder body, a bolt-on neck that's caramelized Canadian sycamore, perloy block inlays, laurel fretboard, a 34-inch scale length. So it's got a double action truss rod, which I usually don't see that a lot of times on this type of bass. A matching headstock, which is a really dope look. And then also chrome hardware and the seafoam green color, which I think is cool. I know it's not for everybody, but I think it's really dope. Now it has a sung 2 bridge with brass saddles, which is really, really nice. And the pickups on this are 1HBZ custom wound Alnico 5 single coil pickups. It has 2 volume controls like a normal bass, which one is for the middle pickup and one's for the bridge. And then it also has a tone knob as well right here, just like a normal jazz bass would be. Now I know you guys are probably just like, Travis, tell us how much this thing is. The price of this bass currently is $225 USD, which is insane. As soon as I started playing it, I'm not even gonna lie, I could not put it down. I was so impressed with this bass, unlike any bass I've had in a while. What's crazy is that I don't feel like I want to mod anything on this, and that's really crazy for a bass at this price point. If you guys are interested in the basses straight out of the box, ready to go, and great bang for your buck, this is the bass. Now I have to talk about the pros and cons of every one of these basses, and this bass has a ton of pros. It's got a great build, great hardware, great electronics, an amazing look and feel. The only con, Harley Benton is based out of Germany. They have a couple of distributors in the US, but they don't have all their products at those distributors in the US. So I had to order this one from Germany on Thoman's, and I tell you what, it was a great price, but the duty fee that you have to pay to import it into the States was about $200 extra on top of purchasing the bass. Now that's for 2 basses. So even if you had to pay $200 extra on top of this, that would still be under $500 for a bass that is worth, in my opinion, a lot more than that. But right now, that's probably my only con with this, is that you have to pay that little duty fee to get it into the United States. Now, just so you know, every bit of music in this video has been created using the AI music generator called Suno. I'm sure by now you have all heard about AI music generators, but this one has to be one of the most advanced I've seen. In fact, all of the bass lines and drum loops that I've used to demo each of these basses were either created or inspired by Suno. Let me show you. So I just went in and put in the prompt, make me an instrumental song that has a groovy bass line that sounds modern. And this is what it created. I'm not gonna lie, I was super impressed with the quality of track it created based off of so little. But here's the real kicker. Usually when I play bass with a full track, I like to remove the existing bass from it so the bass parts don't conflict. Suno allows for you to separate stems from your created track so you can isolate each element and choose what you want from your track, which is super dope. So all I did was just exported the stems to my computer and used the drum stems so you can hear the tone of the basses better. Suno is a great resource for musicians if you're looking for inspiration for bass lines or even creating your own practice tracks. So if you're interested in checking out Suno, go sign up for free using my link in the description below. Thank you, Suno, for sponsoring today's video. Now the next bass in this lineup is the Harley Benton 5-string jazz bass. This is the Enhanced MJ5JN. It's got the natural body look. It's got a matte finish. When you just play these basses, you just don't want to stop playing, I'll be honest. Every time I pick them up, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this just feels so good. The action feels great straight out of the box. Now this is a 5-string active bass that has a 9-volt battery in the back. Right here, it's got a little compartment. This is probably one of the best 5 strings that I've played in this price point. It feels really, really great. Now the body is swamp ash and it has a matching headstock, which is nice. And it's also got a bolt-on maple neck with black block inlays, a WSC SK5 bridge, chrome hardware, double action truss rod, and like I said, it's got that natural matte color that's really, really nice and makes it look very premium. Now you probably noticed the pickup placement is a little bit different than normal 5-string basses like this. It has the humbucker style bridge pickup and it has the single coil middle pickup. These pickups are Roswell MFR5 ferrite humbucker on the bridge, and then the Roswell JM5 ferrite single coil for the middle pickup. Now the knobs, we've got a push and pull volume knob right here. We've got a pickup selector knob. We have lows and highs knobs for the EQ, and then a switch that switches between humbucker and single coil. Now the cost of this bass currently is $343 USD. Now I'm not gonna lie, that is a great deal to have a switch and have this active circuit in here. Oh my gosh, $343. My first bass cost more than that. If you're wanting to get into 5-string, you want something that's gonna be a great bass that you can take with you and even mod in the future, this bass is so great. And I will tell you, I am planning on modding this bass. There's a couple of things in a 5-string tone things that I want. Now there are definitely 5 strings that are higher quality than this, that have better tones, different things like that. Yes, of course, but $343, this is pretty crazy, I'm not even gonna lie. Now my pros and cons with this bass, it's great out of the box, has great feel. The one con that's a pretty solid con for me on this one is that it's a little heavy, especially holding the 4-string in this one. I was like, whoa. It's not a bad thing. If you're okay with heavy basses, I have a strap. I have this strap to alleviate that. If you guys are interested, I'll have this linked in the description as well. This is a Levy's neoprene strap and it's stretchy. If you get this strap, I will say it will probably help alleviate that. There's probably some other straps out there, but this is the one I've been using for over a decade now, and I love it. If you want to get past that con, definitely think about getting a strap that's going to be softer on your shoulder. Okay, now we're starting to get to some of the premium guitars, which the first is gonna be this GOC Headless 5-string bass. Now this is an active bass and obviously it's headless. And this is a new bass that the company just recently came out with. And honestly, the body, look at the body on this thing. That is wicked. When I got this bass, every time I got in my room and I saw it, I was just like, I gotta play this. It just looks so pretty. Now the body of this is Northern American ash. It's got a 34-inch scale length And the neck is micarta roasted maple, which is really, really dope. Man, this neck looks beautiful. I love the way it looks. That dark and the light is so nice on this. The bridge is a Pitch Lab Low Pro XL stainless steel bridge, and it has hollow point inlays, two-way truss rod, and the tuners on the bridge are really, really nice. The way when you turn these to tune is so easy, it's so smooth, which is not what I always experience with headless basses. And this is the Peridot color, this greenish yellow, which to be honest, I was kind of skeptical of, but whenever I got it in person, I was like, yo, this is sick. Now it does come with a pick guard that I just chose not to put on. It's really dope. The pick guard is really dope, but I just kind of like the look of it just kind of clean like this, so I never actually put it on. Now let's talk about some of the electronics on this bass. We have active, the Bellow Progressive Humbucker set right here with a 9-volt battery compartment. Now the knobs, you have a volume knob, you got a pickup selector, and you have an EQ right here at the bottom. Now the cost of this bass is $995 at the time of this video. Now they just released this bass, so this is like very, very new. I've had it for a little while and been able to play around with it. And honestly, man, something too I didn't get to say earlier is look how thin this thing is. This is so thin and it feels so balanced. You know, when you look at this, you're thinking like, oh, with a bass this thin, the head, you know, dive is gonna be crazy. But it really is very balanced, even for the crazy, you know, body type of what it has. I know that a lot of you guys are gonna be like, man, why are you gonna put a headless bass on here? Because I know that some of you guys like headless basses. I don't always like headless basses for every single thing that I play, but this bass is a great sounding bass, and sometimes you need this type of tone, this humbucker tone that this bass puts out. Now, if you're somebody who wants a bass that stands out, looks great, sounds good, not necessarily a jazz bass vibe, but like kind of like more of that humbucker vibe, this is a great bass for you. Now, my pros and cons with this particular bass, it's got a great look, great electronics. Man, the build on this, so high quality, like it's really nice. I'm like, man, when I play, I'm like, this feels really good. It's also got the fan frets, which is different for me, but they actually feel nice when you play them. The only con I have for this is that straight out of the box, it's got pretty high action, more than what I'm used to, or I used to with my other basses, but it's not a bad thing. Normally, I will say 99% of the time when I buy a bass or get a bass, I have to adjust and do like a setup on it. You have to adjust it to what you think is comfortable, and what everybody thinks is comfortable is very, very subjective. Don't let that be a deterrent. This is still a great quality bass, and one that if you like this type vibe and you like the headless vibe, is a great, great purchase. Now the next bass we're talking about is the Airline Guitars Map 4-string bass. This is a 4-string bass, obviously. It's passive and it has a wicked look. Oh my gosh, look at that. When I saw this bass, that was one thing that got me. It's like, dude, this look is crazy. Now this bass has a tone chambered mahogany body. And you can also see the indentation around here. That is so wicked. That's so cool. It's got a bolt-on neck, bound fingerboard with block inlays, a 30-inch scale length, which it makes this kind of a short scale style bass. Now it has nickel and chrome hardware throughout on the bass. Now what's really dope is this bass has a Tune-O-Matic bridge with a trapeze tailpiece, which you don't really see that often on a lot of basses. It's got this electric red color that stands out pretty much anytime you take it out. Every time I've taken this bass out, people are just like, what is that? It's got two Alnico humbuckers as the pickups. It's got a 3-way switcher, which I actually have not seen on a bass before. Maybe I'm just new to this, but that's really dope that it has a 3-way switcher. And it has dual volume controls and a tone knob as well. Now this bass is a passive bass for that really nice warm tone that you would get for like rock or things like that, or even like an indie vibe. This would get you there. Now currently this bass is $999 at the time of this video, USD. You're probably wondering, who is this bass for? This is the kind of bass that I have for my rock or indie tones, more a little bit genre specific tones. It's not an active bass, so I probably wouldn't use it in like a lot of gospel or that kind of vibe, but I could definitely use this in a lot of, indie, folk, rock, a lot of those type vibes. This thing is going to kill at. Now my pros and cons with this, it's got an incredible look, but it also has great playability straight out of the box. When I played it, I was like, oh my gosh, I sat and played it for like probably 45 minutes and it just feels really nice. The only con that I have is that this bass for me is a little bit more genre specific. It's not like one of those basses where it's just like, it's gonna work with every single piece of music that you ever do. It's kind of more of a genre specific tone out of it. Doesn't mean it's a bad bass, but it just means that it has a certain vibe. That's kind of really the reason why I love it, because I feel like I have so many basses that are kind of made to do everything. To have something that's like, this is gonna kill a certain vibe, like that rock vibe and that kind of indie vibe, is really, really nice to have. All right, so we've gotten to the 5th and last bass in this lineup, and that is the new Spector NS Icon bolt-on 5-string bass. Now, at the time of this video, this bass has only been out a couple of months, and man, Spector did a great job with this bass. Now, I know this is a company that some of you guys probably already know about, but they've really packed a huge punch with this particular bass. Now this bass has an alder body, gloss white finish with a 3-piece maple neck, and the neck is bolt-on as well, which is really nice. It's got a rosewood fingerboard, dot inlays, a 35-inch scale length, and sealed die-cast tuners. Now, I'm not gonna lie, what drew me to this bass wasn't necessarily the hardware per se, but it was the electronics that they packed into this stock bass. This is stock, okay? They have Aguilar DCB soap bar humbucker pickups for this bass stock, which honestly, if they didn't have this, that's what I would put in here. Now the controls it has is volume, blend knob, and lows and highs. Now this bass at the time of this video is about $1,299 US, which is the top of our price point in all the basses in this video. But when it comes to what this bass packs and just the quality and level of this, which I love this about these Spector basses, like this curved look right here. I thought that was so cool and so unique. I haven't seen that on any bass but like Spectors, and I just love that. I think that's so cool. I've actually played this bass on quite a few gigs, got a lot of great feedback on it, and it feels really great when playing in a band. This bass is probably for someone who loves the Aguilar tone. It's got great tone when it comes to using those Aguilar pickups and electronics that we know and love with Aguilar. It still has the bite too. If you want it, just turn up some of the highs and you can still get that bite as well if you want to use it for gospel or anything that it needs to really cut through. Now the pros and cons for this: great build quality, great feel out of the box, amazing electronics. The only, I guess, cons I have with this is literally so subjective, so don't take this, like if you like the style neck, is totally fine. But for me, the neck was a little bit beefier than what I necessarily like all the time. So it's just a little bit wider, not wider, but just like a beefier neck when it comes to gripping it. Doesn't make this a bad bass at all. It really just depends on what kind of vibe you like in neck. Now the last con I have, this bass only has a 2-band EQ. And so for me, I can't boost those mids or cut those mids. Now, when I've used this live, I've boosted the bass end a little bit. Sometimes I boost the treble just a hair. It still feels good, even though I don't have that mid control. And it feels great out of the box. I haven't done a setup or anything on it. I've played probably 5 or 10 shows with this particular bass, and it has felt great. I haven't felt like I needed to change anything. So it has a great out of the box feel, even though, you know, I have some little small things with it. Now, if you're interested in any of the basses that I went over in today's video, they'll all be linked in the description below to where you can click and see all the specs and even purchase one of these basses. Now, if you like this video, please let me know in the comments below, and also let me know if there's some basses or effects or things that you want to see me talk about here on my channel. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you're notified when the newest videos are uploaded. Now, if you want to support this channel, there's a couple of ways that you can. You can go to my website, travisdykesmusic.com, and make a purchase to any of the products on there, or you can check out any of my affiliate links in the description below, to where if you click and make a purchase through any of those links, this channel gets a kickback to bring you more videos. Now, if you enjoy my Never Heard Of series, you definitely got to check out this video right here.